1, 2. Can you guys hear me? I don't know how I always end up messing something up. 1, 2. Can you hear me? Please give me a thumbs up in the chat or your name in the chat, your name and your city where you're coming from so I know you can hear me. I just got this thing. I'm trying to make sure that we're on live here. Somebody give me or just type a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Please type a 1 or put your name in the chat. Let me know you can hear me. If anybody can hear me, please. I got this microphone here trying to figure out how it all works. You can hear me. Thank goodness. All right, you can hear me. Greetings, class. Greetings. It is an honor to be with you today. Get something to wipe my forehead as I'm listening to my daughter. Sheesh. It's hot. It's hot out here, y'all. Greetings, class. Today you have made it. You are here. You are at the Land Trust Training. You're at the right place. Okay, so you can hear me. Good. We made it. You're at the Land Trust Training, and I want to make sure that you are clear today. We will be talking about and training you how to buy real estate without putting it in your name, without putting the real estate in your LLC's name. Get this stuff rolling. How to buy houses without putting them in your name or our company name. Putting them in your name or your company name. So I would love to know where you're from. I would love to know your name. Please put your name and where you're from, where you're coming from in the chat so I can interact. My thing is I get energy from the people. As I am finally learning, I just talked to my daughter. She's 12. Y'all, I'm finally learning that I am living, according to my daughter, I am, there's 4 categories. You got rich, almost broke, and broke. So I just want everybody to know that you're listening to a guy that's classified from my 12-year-old daughter that I am almost broke. I'm not broke, but I'm almost. So I'm one step above. I just want everybody to please make sure you keep us in your prayers so my 12-year-old daughter will have a better view of what her dad does. And I'm honored to not be, at least I'm not broke. Okay, so let's get into this thing. Land Trust Training. There's a link. There's several links in the video description below. And you can download. The first one is going to be your handout. It looks like this. You can follow along. Okay. So this is going to be your handout. We're going to go through this together. How class will go. We'll go over the moving parts on the land trust, how they work. Why do I do this? Why would you do this? Why is it important to real estate investors? Why is it something that we even want to do? Why can't we just buy real estate in our LLC or in our company name? So I've been doing this since 2004. And so over time, I've been able to see so many people come and go. A lot of things change, but this trust thing has really stayed the same. And I learned it back in 2007. I am Chris Haskins. I'm going to be your pilot for today as we fly over the United States and train on how to buy real estate without putting it in your name. So there's a link right there in the video description below. Yeah, that's right, Nick. I'm not, Nick, I'm not broke. Thank you, God. According to my 12-year-old daughter, we're not broke. That's right. We're almost broke. We're not there. Thank goodness. I'm so glad that my daughter does not consider her dad to be broke. Let me make sure you don't have your seat right in the video description. There's some links. Download the handout so you can follow along. This is going to be a class. You gotta stay with me for a little time. You're gonna have to stay with me because I have to work this for you. This is something that you're not going to get overnight. And even after you watch this video here today, you may still not get it 100%. All right, so don't beat yourself up. This is something that took me 3 years. I studied this from 2007, didn't deploy it until 2010. So I want you to deploy faster because I believe buying real estate without putting it in your name or without putting it in your LLC is a skill that we should all learn. We don't want to have anything on public record. Not that we're hiding from anybody. We just don't want to be on public record. So the handout, if somebody can help my friends, I see some people in the chat that don't see it. If you don't see in the video description, refresh your screen. We put it there. And I believe it's there. Somebody sees it there. Michelle. Make sure Michelle. Oklahoma, we got it in the building. Atlanta. Name and where you're from. DMV, Ohio. What's going on, y'all? Good to see you guys here. So how this is going to flow, we're going to train, and then we're going to do Q&A at the end. please, if you don't mind, we'll do Q&A at the end so I don't have to keep stopping and going for the recording here. So land trust. Okay, Anderson. Okay, yes, we have the link right there in the video description. So we got several links down there. Oh man, Fred, and coming down from where you at, Fred? What did I say there? Richmond, coming down Richmond, South Carolina. Wow, a whole bunch of you guys in the building. It is such an honor. It is such an honor as we pass 142,000 subscribers on my channel. It is such an honor to serve you. I'm humbled. I'm humbled every day, and I even talk to my daughter. She's saying I'm almost broke. I'm rich, almost. Yeah, I'm almost broke. So I'm just happy that I get to partake into you the little bit of knowledge and wisdom that I've learned from doing real estate since 2004. So start with number one handout in the video description below, and we're going to get rolling. A land trust. I need you to understand, if you don't get anything else out of this training, I need you to understand this one thing. If you don't get anything else out of this training, I need you to get this. A land trust. Here we go. So once you download your workbook, it's going to get emailed to you. You can print it out and follow along. A land trust is nothing but a way to take title to a piece of real property. Now, there's some blanks in this sheet here. Okay. Why do I do that? Because you need to follow along and put head to hand so you can put it on the paper, and then that will affect your heart. And that way, like Hampton University taught me, head, the hand, and the heart. You got to get all three. You have to get all three if you want to really make this stuff sink in. If you read it, you watch it, you might do it. If you write it down, it might be okay. But if you do both of them together, read, write, it will affect your heart. Okay, that's one of the things. Hampton University, we want to make sure we affect the whole person, the head, the hand, and the heart. Okay. Now, it's nothing but a way to take title. I don't want you to get confused. I do not want you to get confused, because this thing might sound and it might seem like it's high level, which it could be perceived as. But once you understand this, you see, I can fix I don't know. I can fix I don't know, but I can't fix that can't be done. I can fix I don't know, like we're going to do today, but I can't fix it can't be done, right? So I need you just to say, if you don't understand this, I don't know. How do I learn? How do I? I can fix how do I? Okay, it can't be done. So how do I? Make sure you live in the world of how do I. Have a Shoshin mentality. With land trust, there are three. Next line here. I should have put letters there. Make sure you please download your workbook, your worksheet. There are three basic moving parts to a land trust. Okay. Number one here on your document, the trust agreement. The trust agreement. Number two is going to be the trustee. I'm sorry. Number two is the beneficiary. Sorry about that. Number two is the beneficiary, and three is the trustee. Did I mess that up? Oh, I got it backwards here on the paper, but one trust agreement, two trustee, three beneficiary. You can change your numbers there. Okay, well, what is a trust? Let's see what is a trust? Well, it is an arrangement whereby property is transferred to a trusted third party. Fill this stuff out, y'all. The trustee, that's who we hire. The trustee holds the property for the benefit of another, the beneficiary. Now, how does that look? Well, you hire somebody to work for you and they sign all the documents on your behalf. We'll get to all this stuff, okay? That's the trust. Okay, the trustee, one who holds property in trust for another to secure performance of an obligation. That's going to be a trustee here. The neutral party in a trust deed transaction. Okay, so your trust, what is a trust? It is an arrangement whereby property is transferred to a trusted third party. That's your first line here. The trustee is the person you're hiring, one who holds property in trust for another to secure performance of an obligation. He or she is the neutral party in a trust deed transaction. And the beneficiary. It's only three parts, y'all. The person who receives or is to receive the benefit resulting from ownership, position, or contract. And all this is in the Barron's Real Estate Guide. You can also, there's a link in the show notes below. Number 3, click that and you get your Barron's Real Estate Guide. Now, why do we want to use land trust? Why? Why? You have to know the why, the reason why. Why are we able to buy real estate at a discount? I had my attorney the other day reach out to me. He says, Chris, I don't know how you get these houses at these prices. We might have to explain this to the courthouse one day. I'm like, look, this is what we do. But why are we able to do this? Why would we buy real estate at a trust? That's the magic question you got to be asking. Okay. So make sure you stay tuned to the end. We got some goodies for you. We buy real estate in a trust so it keeps our name off of public record, because if some frivolous lawsuit or judgment comes down the pipeline in your name, it automatically attaches to all the real estate you owned. Let me say that again. We buy real estate in a trust because if some judgment or creditor gets attached to your name, it automatically gets attached to every piece of real estate you own. That's how it works. It's just that simple. True story. This is why I'm so emotional about this. I had a friend of mine, a contractor, call me up. Well, actually, he met me in person. He said, Chris, I need to meet with you. He's a general contractor. He did put a roof on somebody's property. The roof over time starts to leak and destroys some of the inside of the property there. And big deal goes on. He's going back and forth to court. The judge doesn't like it. You never know what the judge is going to do. So my friend loses in court. Okay. So automatically, when he gets the judgment served, it got attached to all of his real estate, right? All of it, because he owned the real estate in his name. And I believe he owned some of it in his LLC. So we can find out who your LLC is as well. So let today be the last day you buy a piece of real estate in your LLC or in your company name. So I'm talking to the guy. I'll never forget, like it was yesterday. I'm like, dude, okay, tell me about what's the name on what do you hold your real estate in? Well, XYZ ABC. Damn, they got a judgment in his name and for the company, right? So they got both. The magic. So he's asking me, he's like, Chris, can you help me? Can you help me take these houses out of my name? And I'm not an attorney. Oh, forgot I got to do my disclaimers here. I forget my disclaimer, y'all. They make me do this stuff. Sorry. Disclaimer, Chris Haskins or any of my team are not attorneys, accountants, or any type of licensed advisors. This strategy and training are intended for informational purposes only. If you're planning on making a decision regarding real estate or any other business or financial venture, please make sure to hire your own licensed professional experts. All right, we got that out of the way. So I always forget to do that. No, I don't know why I forget to do that. So I'm talking to my guy. I'm like, tell me, what name is the property in? He tells me all this stuff. I'm like, dude, you got the judgment. When did you get the judgment? Last week. So I can't help you. Once the judgment comes down, it's already on record. So when you go to sell the property, right? When you go sell it, they're going to pull up that Joe Brown owns 123 Easy Street and Joe Brown has a judgment for $40,000. Or Top Dog Construction owns 123 Easy Street and Top Dog Construction has a judgment against it. So they're going to be able to attach it right to the real estate. So now is the time to learn before you get the judgments coming down the pipeline. And let me make sure I'm clear with this, all my men out there. So all my guys that are trying to avoid child support. I got to make sure I touch on this because I get emails all the time. Chris, if I put the property in a trust, am I able to prevent child support from attaching to the property? Yes. However, I believe you're smart. I believe you're going to do the right thing. I believe you're a good person, and I believe put in a situation where you are going to rise to the occasion. I believe you will do that and not use these strategies and tips and techniques that we teach here and tactics for bad. I believe you're going to use these strategies for the good use for your community. Okay, so all my guys out there, don't be trying to get rid of this child support and put it in trust. Yes, but we're not going to use it for that, okay? We're just not going to do that. We're going to pay the child support or deal with it however you got to. And my heart goes out to anybody with child support. I know it's got to be rough dealing with the judges and the courts. Should be criminal. I mean, I don't even know why they let them do that. Okay. So my friend had already got the judgment against him. I could not help him, which is why you're here today, to learn to get whatever you're doing out of your name or buy it before you put it in your name, hopefully. Okay. So how does all this stuff work? We got so much stuff, and I want you to boil this down, round up homies. We got some goodies coming up to you. Just stay on with me. I got some goodies for you. I wanted to boil this down for you. This is nothing but black ink on white paper. That's all. Nothing else. It's extremely simple. Once you learn it, the only reason it might seem complicated is because you don't understand how they work. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to have a coupon for y'all too. This is so cool. All right. So how does it look here? Make sure you got your hand out here. So when you go to buy a piece of real estate, you have to have a contract. I was telling a client the other day, you will not buy a piece of property unless you make an offer. That's how real estate works. And the only way to make a real legitimate bona fide offer is to have a contract. Now you can talk about it and dance around and send an email, all that. Get you some contracts, y'all. So when you type up the contract, the buyer is the trust. Okay, so first part here, contract is going to be the purchase and sale agreement. And we don't use contract when we're dealing with homeowners, right? So we're going to do the moving parts. So if you're just joining us, you have the land trust training. We're going to go over the moving parts. Then I'm going to take you and show you the documents and give you an opportunity to ask questions, and you can download the documents too so you can follow along. That's number 2. If you haven't yet, we're going to get to the documents in a minute. Go ahead, and number 2 in the video description is going to be the docs. And you can use the coupon code TRUST. I'm going to give you a special that will go away in 1 day. If you're watching this another day, I still keep my prices extremely affordable. I have to charge something to stay in business to do this because I don't necessarily need to be doing this stuff. And wait till I show you a house that we're buying today. I'm going to show you the HUD. You're going to see what it looks like, name of the buyer, and we're buying a subject to. You're going to see the loan that we just took over. Okay, so the contract has the name of the trust. You don't put your name or your LLC. It's actually the trust is the buyer. Okay, now the contract is to buy the house, right? So once you're in the process of buying the house, you're going to put the house into the trust. All right, we're putting the house into the trust agreement. This is going to be number 1 down here. Number 1, the trust agreement. So you don't own the house. The trust actually owns the house. Okay, so there's 3 moving parts to this. You got to get it. Make sure. Here we go. House goes in the trust agreement. Number 1, the trust agreement. That's what we're going to go over first. I'm going to show you what the trust agreement looks like. Okay. House goes in the trust agreement. You have a trustee. Now, remember we said the trustee, one who holds property in trust for another to secure performance of an obligation. The trustee is going to be, follow me now, a person you trust or an entity you control. Now, what does that mean? You see, on a land trust, the trustee is out there taking all the bullets. In fact, their name actually goes on the deed with the name of the trust. And it's either in Nevada or Arizona, they actually require the beneficiaries to go on the deed as well, which is crazy to me. So contract to get house goes in trust agreement. Number 2, your trustee will sign. So today my trustee will go to the closing. I won't even go to closing. I'll just wire the funds. And the number 3 moving part is the beneficiary. And what did we say the beneficiary was? The person who receives or is to receive the benefit resulting from an ownership position or contract. So the beneficiary is going to be you. You are the beneficiary or your entity. Now, this is where the living trust comes in, or the life insurance policy, or your retirement account. This is where all that stuff comes in for the asset protection. This is the estate planning here. So we can move it around. But the beneficiary is where you layer this stuff all up. So you go from land trust to LLC here. Then you can have a member of the LLC, a living trust. You can layer it up so much. But I caution you from doing that because you never know how much layering you're going to do because you got to unpack that stuff when you go sell this property, right? Uh-oh. You still hear me here? Everybody good? Man, you guys are here. Why? Oh, yeah, I see you guys are. Deborah, you can't download the worksheet. Please, if you have not, number one, let me back up. Sorry, y'all. You're here at the Land Trust Training. If you haven't downloaded the worksheet, it's in the video description, number one. So you can follow along. You can see how this stuff explains. Number two is going to be the documents. We're going to go over that in a minute. If you haven't downloaded the worksheet, check your spam. It will get emailed to you. If someone can help her get Deborah, you are one of our members. I got to give you. Francia, you can't download that. Andrew, trusts are useless in Arizona. Unfortunately, Andrew, unfortunately, I don't know why in Arizona they put the beneficiary on the damn deed. So I don't want to necessarily say it's useless, but yeah, it ain't the best practice. I don't know what's going on with Arizona. You guys are, y'all worse than Texas when it comes to that. Michelle, okay, we got some people who haven't got the handout. I don't know why. Let me make sure. All right, let me check real quick. I don't know what the deal is with that. Why is it not coming through? Who knows? Could be anything. Please check your spam. If someone can help her email, if you put your email here, someone could possibly. Michelle didn't get it, Ricious? I don't know. Well, you got to send us an email. If you don't get that, let's see it's coming through. I see people downloading it. I'll give you a few moments. If someone can, I don't have it set up to actually email out. You have to go through the system. My team has set it all up to where you put the email in it. It gets emailed to you. Sorry. Let me see. Hold tight. Let me see if I can find that for you. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, downloads are there. You got them. Okay, cool. You getting them. Michelle, you got it. We're getting ready to get to the documents in a minute. If you want to go ahead and download your documents, I'm going to give you $50 off. That's number 2 in the handout. Okay. If you want to get the documents, we're going to go over all the documents so you can have them when you go buy your next property. I'm going to give you a ton of goodies. In fact, I'm going to actually pay for PropStream for 10 of y'all. I'm going to pay for a month of PropStream for you, right? So I'm going to give you $100 back. If you spend a few $100 with me back, if you spend a few $100 with me, I'm going to give you the money right back on PropStream. All right, let's do this. Got it. You got it. Andrew, you a mess, man. That was a mess for saying that. So the beneficiary is the one that benefits from anything that goes on with this property. Contract to buy the house goes in trust. Beneficiary benefits from all the action of the property. Now, the beneficiary is the one that collects the rent. The beneficiary is the one that can go, that can actually is responsible for the loan, like the person that's going to sign on the bottom line. The beneficiary is the one, when you sell the property, they collect the profits. The beneficiary is the one, if you do a seller financing or a lease option, they collect the down payment or the option fee. So the beneficiary is the one that's in the background. If you look right here, my man, he's sitting in the chair. He's the one that's chilling with the cigar, right? But the trust is the one that's in the foreground. I'm sorry, the trustee. So the trustee is out there. They're signing all the documents. They will go to closing for you. They'll sign the HUD-1. They will actually sign on the loan on your behalf. They'll sign all the closing documents, so they can sign anything regarding this trust that owns the house. That's why you must have a trustee that you trust. Now, I do offer trustee services for any around the country. I've been trustee from all the way to Cali to Maryland, all around the country. So I do offer those services. I would prefer you use somebody that you trust, somebody that has a different last name than you. That's what I want. I want somebody to have, or if you got an entity, see, some people want the trustee to be another LLC. You can do that too. So if you're just visualizing how the trust works, the house is on the documents, and then you just call your trustee, hey, I need you to sign some papers. Okay, so you better have somebody that you trust regarding the trustee, because they have some real teeth. They can go on, borrow money. They can sell. I had a client recently. It's crazy. He had to fire a trustee because his trustee kept hinting that he was going to sell the property. So what happened was, you know how we all get text messages and phone calls about real estate. When you own a piece of real estate, you're going to get cold callers calling, and you're going to get texts out of the blue. It's just working. That's just how it works. So his trustee was getting all these phone calls and text messages, and he's like, you know what? Maybe I could just sell the property, and you wouldn't even know. The trustee can go sell the property. So you better have somebody you trust. He called me. He's like, Chris, I need to get this guy off of my deed. So he hired me to be the trustee, and they changed the deed, and it was a thing. But so just hire somebody. And yes, your trustee could go rogue. So make sure, if you don't trust anybody, get out there and make some better friends, or you can hire us. All right. All right. So you got how this thing all works. You got the moving parts. You got it down here in your handout. The handout is going to be, it'll be emailed to you. If you haven't got it yet, it'll be coming. I don't know. It's going to be the first link. So now I have an offer for you. Once again, I believe you're smart. I believe you know exactly what you're looking for in life. I believe you think that it's a good idea to not buy a house in your name. I believe that. So if you go to number 2 in the video description below, there's a link where you can download all my documents, all the trust documents. Okay. And the first 10 people, I will pay for the next 30 days of your PropStream membership. Now, if you already have PropStream, I will still pay for a month, so you get 1 month for free, whether you're a member already or you're not a member. What is PropStream? I'm giving you some bonuses. PropStream is a service where we go pull data, mortgage information, liens, HOA judgments, all that stuff. You can find pre-foreclosures, and you can do skip tracing with it. So I'm going to pay for 1 month for you when you download the docs. And if you use the coupon code TRUST, I'm going to give you $50 off today only, right? This thing lasts for 1 day. And you also, another bonus, I'm going to give away, well, not give, I'm going to have an offer. You get a huge discount on my subject to lease option training. That is going to be, we usually sell it for $500. You'll get it for a steep discount. I think it's $47 right there. You got to click the thing, click it to slide it over. And that will come with all my subject to stuff and my lease option documents. So you'll get all this stuff for one flat price. Plus, I'm going to pay for a month of PropStream for you. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you succeed. So this is going to be the number 2 link in the show notes below. And use the coupon code TRUST so you can see, you can apply that discount. Oh, we got family here over there on, we got family members over there on Instagram. Put your questions in. We'll get to the questions at the end. All right. So now go to the number 2 link in your show notes below so you can follow along. We're going to be talking about the documents here. So the first moving parts to your land trust is going to be your share screen. Sorry, I got to share it. Oh, I got to share a window. Okay. I mean, oh man, I could do that. All right, so go to number 2 in the show notes. Use the coupon code, get $50 off. The first thing where we need to go over now is going to be our trust agreement. So you know what that looks like. Y'all make sure y'all can see me. Can y'all still see me here? Let me know if y'all can see. Somebody let me know if they can see the trust agreement here. Your land trust agreements. Number one, the first moving part is your trust agreement, y'all. This is the first moving part. You have to understand how this works. In the show notes below, number two is going to be my documents. Download the documents so you can follow along, okay? The trust agreement. Somebody give me a 1. Let me know you can see the documents in there. You can see them. Okay, cool. Let's do this. The trust agreement. Now these are all the docs that you'll get once you invest in the land trust document packet, along with the first 10 people are going to get 1 month of ProStream, and for another $47 for 1 day only, you're going to get my full subject to lease option training module, or that comes with my subject to stuff. I cannot wait to show you a deal I'm doing right now. The trust agreements, right? This agreement dated blank day of blank. You or your company name, remember that's going to be the beneficiaries as grantor's beneficiaries. Now keep in mind, the land trust is nothing but a grantor revocable trust. They are the same. You can revoke this trust. It can be revoked. It can be revoked. You can move it over, sell it to somebody else. You or your company name as grantor's beneficiaries, hereinafter collectively referred to as the beneficiary, whether one or more, which designations shall include all successors in interest of any beneficiary. And your trustee, next moving part, y'all, the trustee or somebody you trust. Somebody you trust better be. As trustee, whose address is, we just use our trustee's address there. Hereinafter, trustees shall include all successor trustees. Remember, we might need to fire the trustee one day. We might have to. Number one, this is the one moving part. The declaration of trust. The trust created by the grantors herein shall be known as. Now, how do we name our trusts? You can name it whatever you want. I've used to name it the street name trust, the Washington Trust, the Brown Trust, the Gray Trust, the Greenwood Trust. I would name it the name of the street, but now I just name it the street number. So right now, trust that we're doing 1, 2, say if we're buying 456 Greenwood Drive, I would name this the 456 Trust, hereinafter referred to as the trust. Y'all got that? You're getting it? Purpose of this trust. The purpose of this trust shall be to hold title to the property and to protect and conserve it until its sale or other disposition or liquidation. That's it. Duties and interests of beneficiaries. And remember, who's the beneficiary? Us. We're the ones right here. The beneficiaries are the one that receive the benefit. Okay. The persons named in the attached Exhibit B are the beneficiaries of this trust. We're going to get to Exhibit B in a minute, okay? And as such, shall be entitled to all earnings. I'm not going to go over this whole thing because y'all can, once you download it, number 2 in the show notes. Letter A, the right to direct the trustee to conveyor or title. Letter B, the right to participate in the management of the property. All right, these are duties of the what is it? What did it say? Duties of the beneficiaries. Letter C, the right to receive the proceeds and avails from the rental, sale, mortgage, or other disposition of the trust property. Now let's switch over to trustee. Powers and duties of trustee. The trustee shall not record this agreement or the name of any of the beneficiaries in any place of public record, unless ordered by a court order. Now, we don't want anybody knowing who the beneficiaries is, who the beneficiaries are, because the trustee works for us. That's why we always buy in the trust, because the beneficiaries appear nowhere. And it says right here, it won't even be recorded anywhere. Letter A, this is the duties, powers of the trustee. Now, what can the trustee do? They can mortgage the whole or any part of the trust property. They can borrow money. This is why it is so important. It is incredibly important for you to have a trustee that you can trust. You see, Patrick Bet-David told me, he said, Chris, I need to know, let's talk about your soft pillow. I mean, what do you mean soft pillow? I don't care. My pillows is cool. So when you think about your life and the stuff that keeps you up at night, it can make your pillow hard, right? So having a trustee that you don't trust, that can give you a hard pillow. So the people that you hire and keep around you will determine whether you have a soft pillow at night and you can get some rest. So the older I get, the soft pillow goes way up in importance in my hierarchy, right? So you better have somebody to trust. Letter C. The trustee should have the following powers with consent of the beneficiaries, which is us, to purchase real property for the trust. That's going to be getting the contract. And the trustee signs the purchase and sale agreement. To sell at public auction or private sale, to barter, to exchange or dispose of the property, to rent or lease the whole or any part of the trust property. All right, so your trustee can actually sell the property, y'all. Number 7, compensation of trustee. The beneficiaries jointly and severally agree that the trustee shall receive the sum of $100. That's what we pay our trustee. I owe him $400 right now. If you're watching this, I'll get you paid. I already got $400. One-time fee for his or her services as trustee hereunder. Liability of trustee. All obligations incurred by the trustee hereunder shall be obligations of the trust only and not the individual trustee. The trustee shall not be required to enter into any personal obligations or liability in dealing with the trust property. Now, why is this so important? I got to stay here for a minute. This is important. So what happened to me, where am I at here? Oh, y'all give me a thumbs up. I don't see nobody hitting that thumbs up button. Make sure you've downloaded number 2. Use the coupon code TRUST. What happened to me is, so I'm trustee for all type of people. Boom, 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 signing. So how we do it is a mobile notary comes to my house. I sign the docs. They're gone. But one time I borrowed $100,000 for a guy, right? It was crazy. It was actually one of my mentors borrowed this money, and then this guy's life fell apart, lost a bunch of houses, and the creditors were coming back to get him. So I get a letter from an attorney, Chris Haskins, trustee for this trust, requiring me to go to court. All right. So we're talking about the liability of the trustee now. So yes, I was shaking in my boots, y'all. I was scared. I'm thinking, I didn't get into that money. All I did was notarize the documents, which is what I got paid to do. And he hired me to be the trustee, and that's what I did. So luckily I went to court. It was insane, man. I went to court, extremely nervous. He was there. What could he say? I got a subpoena. Like you if you don't go to court, you go to jail. So I was his trustee. So I went to court. I'm like, Your Honor, I am acting in the capacity of the trustee for this trust. I have no idea what this gentleman is doing, which I didn't. I really didn't know. He looks at it, looks at the court order, looks at the deed. He goes, "Bong, sir, you are dismissed." So I want you to know that I am living proof. I'm living proof that the trustee doesn't have a personal liability to this trust. So I know a lot of us are saying, well, I can't ask my cousins to do this. I can't ask my aunt or whoever to do it, because they're going to think they're on the hook for something, because they do sign for money. I signed $450,000 for this dude. And I signed for $70,000 a few weeks ago for another investor, but it's not personal for me. I'm acting in the capacity of the trustee / employee. You see, the trustee, just like somebody, when you go to McDonald's, they're just ringing out, they're just taking your order. They don't own McDonald's. They don't own that land. They're just an employee. All right. So keep that in mind, y'all. Let's get back to our thing here. Okay. Liability of trustee, removal of trustee. The beneficiaries shall have the power to remove a trustee from his office or appoint a successor trustee to succeed him or her at any time. Yes, sometimes, just like my guy had to do, you got to let somebody go. It's okay. We're going to go over that document too. We're going to appoint a successor trustee. Resignation of successor. The trustee can resign if they don't want to do this anymore, within 30 days written notice prior to the written notice to the beneficiaries. So just let me know if you want to do this no more. And I've learned that not everything is going to be forever, right? Some things will end, and it's completely fine. Assignment. The interest of a beneficiary or any part of said interest may be transferred only by written assignment. So you can check this out, y'all. You can actually sell the trust. You can sell it for $5,000 and the title still stay the same name as the trust. That's what makes this so powerful. You can say, look, you want this house here? Give me 10 grand. I'll just sell you the trust. It'll still stay in the trust name. Now you own it. But yes, you do have to report it to the IRS because that is a taxable event and all that other stuff. But you didn't even have to go to the courthouse to record a new deed. Talk about saving the time. I hope somebody is recognizing how much money you save by using land trusts. I can sell you this trust house, nothing moves, nothing even goes to the courthouse. Now you just own the trust. Individual liability of trustee. Trustee shall have no individual liability, remember I went to court, or obligation whatsoever arising from his ownership as trustee of the legal title of the trust property. So what happened to me was I had a trustee file bankruptcy, right? And I was concerned about it. But luckily, all of our attorneys got together, went to go sell the property. They don't even do a title search on the trustee. They don't even care about it. They care about the beneficiaries. Who's the beneficiary of this thing? Governing law. This agreement and all transactions contemplated hereby shall be governed by, construed, and enforced in accordance with the laws of the state of whatever state you're in. So once you've downloaded the documents, use the coupon code TRUST, it's good for one day, then you can put your state in here when you type this up for your property, okay? And I love this. I love the fact that I don't have to worry about being called a scammer because this is what I do. I do this for a living. I can't scam anybody if I just say, hey, this is what I did. Might work for you. I'm not, and people are like, well, I hear so many fraud things going on. I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to tell you to go do something. I am explaining to you what I do. I'm going to show you a deed in a minute. Okay, here's where they sign here, page 7, name of your beneficiary. Now, for us, it's going to be the company managing member, and then your trustee signs here. And when they sign, y'all, this is all they need to do. When they sign, when I sign as a trustee, I'm just putting K. Haskins, comma, trustee. Okay. K. Haskins, comma, trustee. Why do we put comma trustee? Because I'm signing on the capacity of being a trustee, not as me, as Chris Haskins, the person, individually. All right. You got to get that. K. Haskins, comma, trustee. Ba, 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 ba. This is good stuff. I hope somebody's learning something on here today. Now, page 8 is just going to be your property and the tax ID, legal description, and then Exhibit B, you or your company name, 100% undivided interest. Man, that is good stuff there. Good stuff. Good stuff here. Good stuff. We're almost done with the actual moving parts, right? We've got to keep going through these documents. So if you haven't yet, download the docs. It's the second link in the show notes. Use the coupon code. It'll be good for a day. And it's not that much, even if you miss the coupon code. If you're watching this later, I'm giving $50 off. And that's the special will end, but you can still invest in the documents. I'm only charging you a few $100. It's not much. It's something to just help me to keep this thing going. Okay. So the next document so we went over the first moving part, the trust agreement. That's the hardest part. Now, I don't want you to think you got to know all the stuff that's going on inside because I don't even know. I just highlighted a few things that I've always looked at. How much are we paying? What's the name of the trust? What's the address of the trust? Who's the beneficiaries? Who's the trustee? Right? You got to know. Those are just a few things you have to know. Because how we buy the real estate is once we create the trust agreement, we got the contract house, we're buying a property, we give the trust agreement to the title company or attorney. Let them draft up the deed for us. Let me see what I'll show you what a deed looks like. Sample deed. Now this is going to be in your documents as well. So you got a deed here. Sample deed for land trust, page 1. How come I can't get this thing to work? Oh, I'm going to show y'all a deed that I'm the trustee on myself. This is cool right here. Check this out, y'all. So this is a deed I'm showing y'all that I was actually the trustee on for another guy. What is wrong with this thing? Okay. Here we go. Blank. This is a guy that used me. So it's one of the ones I was a trustee on. Grantee, he sold the house. Chris Haskins, trustee of the Blank Street Land Trust. This is what the deed looks like. Party of the second, whose mailing address is blank. Okay, so this is what a deed will look like, y'all. Property address, legal description, instrument number, all that stuff. That's old stuff right there. That goes back. That's just a legal description. This is what your deed will look like. And I don't mind. I don't care if my name is on title for being a trustee for somebody else. I care if my name's on title for something that I own. Okay. But did I put a copy of this? So this is all these documents, y'all, you're going to get. This is what it looks like when you go into your folder. This is what you get, all the documents there. All right, let's see. Another deed letter from lawyer. What I got here? Man, this is some really, really good stuff for y'all. Okay, let's look at the next thing we're going to look at here. What's the next thing? Got the appointment of. So sometimes you might have you have to remove your trustee, right? Sometimes you just got to do it. That's a good question. What if the trustee dies? That's what we're going over right now. Okay, sometimes you might have to either remove your trustee or who asked that question? Kavina. That's a beautiful name. Somebody else had a name named Kavina. Sometimes your trustee will die. They'll move out of town. They'll say, Chris, you suck. I don't want to do this anymore. Or they just say, you know what? I'm done. So we have a document for you that says this is going to be the appointment of a replacement trustee. This is signed off by you, and the trustee doesn't even need to sign it. The undersigned beneficiaries represent that they are all and 100% of the beneficiaries to that certain declaration of land trust. That's the trust here that we created, dated, whatever, which is known as whatever your trust name is. And they hereby replace Joe Blow with Sally Brown, okay, whose address is blank. That's it. Remember I told you guys this is nothing but black ink on white paper? That's all. And this is to represent all their beneficial interests. It said trust as their replacement trustee. And this is over. So you can replace a trustee at any time, and they don't even have to be notified. Look at that. Beneficiary signs, boom, notarized, and it's over. I'm glad Kavina asked that question because, yes, things happen. People die. It's just part of life. People change their minds. They don't want to do what they did they don't want to do the same thing this year that they did last year. It just happens. All right. Okay, our next document we're going to go over. Got blame trust, warranty deed. Oh, here we go. Assignment. Oh, man, this is a good one. This is a good one here, y'all. I got to tell y'all something about contracts, man. These joints are just paperwork and real estate. You know, real estate speaks. Real estate speaks through documents. It lives through black ink on white paper. Isn't that cool? Okay, our next one is a standard assignment of beneficial interest. Okay, now this is where we are when we are assigning our trust over to somebody else. You're actually selling this trust. You can sell a house, don't forget, with or without a mortgage. The mortgage company won't even know that you transfer the property from from your name into the trust. They're not even going to know. There's no protocol for current loans to go to loss mitigation. It just doesn't work like that. Get your questions in, y'all. Make sure you download your docs so you can follow along. Standard assignment. And if you notice something here from me, if you're one of my clients or you're one of my supporters, everything we do is standard. Standard lease, standard application, standard lease option, standard assignment of beneficial interest, standard subject to purchase agreement. We got the standard authorization to release information. Everything is standard. Why is that? Well, when you get questions, I don't know, Miss Smith. It's just standard. So just make standard a part of your life. Okay, it makes it easier. This is an addendum made on the whatever day, real estate sale. Boom. This is you can sell. You can actually you can actually sell the trust before you go to closing if you want to do that, or you can sell it after. Legal description, whatever. By and between assignee, assignor, right? Assignor agrees to assign his rights and beneficial interest to purchase to assignor for fee of $50,000. You can sell the house for whatever you want. Assignee shall close original contract. This is one that we were selling before we were going to assign this one. You can just take that out. Assignee shall close on or before blank. Assignee shall abide by all the terms agreed to under the language of the attached contract. So you can have purchase and sale contract, and then you're selling. Once again, you're selling it over to somebody else, and you don't even have to go to a closing, y'all. You just sell it. You're just actually giving them the ownership of the trust, which owns the house. This stuff is like magic. Is that not magical or what? Is that not magical or what? You can see it. Okay, if I'm helping you today, please, if we are pouring into you today like I feel like I am, it's almost 100 degrees outside, please give me a like, share this information. We're going to get to Q&A in a minute. All right, and our final thing, blank land trust. Okay, so some of y'all might need to see this too. So what does it look like when you go to closing? I don't know. Let's take a look. So this is a copy of closing disclosure. I don't know why they made it that now, but this is what it is. This is what it is. This is really strange. Okay. You can see here. Oop, let me open up for you. If you don't know, this is what you call a closing disclosure now, a CD. I didn't want to put the borrower's name here, but the seller, that was me, right there, 3149 Trust. Sales price, $400,000. Price of any personal property, whatever, HOA, I don't know. We sold it for $400,000, and then we paid me back, and then second mortgage, whatever. Closing costs, all this stuff. So I want you to see what does the closing disclosure look like when we go to closing. That's what this stuff looks like. It's not like it's I'm not trying to hold anything from you. I just want you to see exactly. So when you go deploy this, the reason I show you all this stuff, because I believe when you go deploy this, you have a clear picture in your mind. Like, I remember Chris showing me the HUD. Nope, not supposed to be my name. It's supposed to be the name of the trust on that deed. Get my name off of this thing. Okay. Let me show you one more. Nope, got that. I did want to show you all something that I'm doing today. This is what's going on right now. I'm excited about this one. So I'm going to show you all closing we're doing right now that I'm here talking to you and we're buying another house. I'm going to show you the HUD. Let me see. Show you the HUD. No, that's not it. I'm going to show you the HUD, y'all. Bear with me. Let me do this. Okay. I'll show you the HUD right now. Then you're going to get two things on this. You're going to get two. Wow. You are going to get, look at this. Y'all, I hope that you realize how much I'm working for you. So I want you to see this is happening right now today. This is the property we're buying right now. Name of the trust, right? Seller. I want you to understand this, right? This is our contract sales price, $168. But look at this, line 203. Can y'all see that? We're buying this property subject to the existing financing. This is why I'm pairing all this stuff together. I'm putting it all together. I have to give them 80 grand, and we're taking over another $85,000 at closing. Okay, so let me help you. Let me show you one more time. So buyer right now, 3924 Trust. Purchase price, $168. Gross amount due from the borrower, $170. But existing loan taken subject to $83,500. Okay. So I only got to bring, what I had to bring? $87,100. I I had to bring 87-1 to this one today. I wish I had a date on there. I thought they had the date. I guess not. Where's the date at? No date. We see there, cash. Is that not powerful stuff, y'all? Is that not powerful stuff? Agnes, download the documents. It's going to be right into the show notes below, number 2. Number 2. Or you can go to my website. They're right there. But this one here, when you download here, you're going to get a special for $47 for the first 10 people. The first 10 people, I'm going to pay for 1 month of PropStream for you. PropStream is where we go look up data, mortgage information, and all the stuff we use to pull comps, skip trace people, look for HOA liens, all type of liens on a property, people that have multiple mortgages. It's what we call big data. So when you download number 2 in the video description below, you're going to get some bonuses, and you have the opportunity to get my subject to lease option training, over 8 hours of training for $47. It is an honor to serve you guys. We're going to get to Q&A in a really, really quick moment here. So Agnes, the video description, download below. Now, if you go, what is it? We're going to get to Q&A in a minute, y'all. There you go. There you go. Download. If you don't see those, if you don't see all the stuff in the show notes below, all you have to do is refresh your screen. It'll be there. It's number 2 for the land trust docs. I already see some people coming in. I'm only doing the first 10 people that are going to get the free month of PropStream only, right? It's costing me $1,000, right? So that's going to be a $1,000 credit. Take that back. It's going to be $1,000 credit for you. Well, not everybody, but the $97 credit for you. All right. Okay, what we got here? So y'all saw my HUD statement. You saw the HUD. You saw the deed. You saw the appointment of successor trustee. You saw the land trust agreement. And the last thing I'll show you very quickly is blank warranty to trustee. Now, I do not recommend you necessarily doing this on your own, but I'm going to give it to you so you'll have it. Let me show you this last document here. I'm so glad you guys are taking time. You have to take time to learn this. This is not like an overnight thing. You see, I learned the people that are willing to sit down. You got to work this stuff, man. It just takes time. Warranty deed to trustee. Now, there's going to come a time where you bought a property in your name and you want to get it out of your name. Now, this is an option. I'm not recommending you. I'm not saying that yay or nay do this, but this is an option. You can just take it from from your current deed and deed it to the trustee, right? Or we'll get to that in a minute. The or this deed for good consideration made this blank between blank. Now this is just standard deed jargon there. Known by street address, property address here, any encumbrances on property subject to. You can put whatever loan you got there if you want. But here's just a warranty deed to trustee. This is, and I'm telling you, it is infinitely harder to take a piece of property out of your name that you already own in your name and put it in a trust. The reason I believe so is because you don't have to do it. I believe that once you buy the property, you're like, man, that was a lot. I'm done. I don't want to go through no more of that. And you've got all this weight on your mind from closing it. You don't want to go and do more stuff, had to do another deed and draft it. So what I did, I have property, I'm telling y'all, it took me 7-8 years to get it out of my name. Some of my rental property that I bought years ago that's in my name still. Okay, so download your trust, create the trust, give it to the title company or attorney, let them do the deed. I don't want you practicing law and creating deeds. You can do your own trust, but let them create the deed. So they'll tell you what type of deed to use to take it out of your name and put it into your trust. Okay. All right. So you have been knighted. You understand how land trusts work. You've downloaded the document so you can rewind and follow along and break it down. So when you go buy a property, I don't know, every time somebody calls me, we got to go over this all over again, but not you. I believe you're extremely sharp. You're sharper than the average real estate investor out there. You are going to buy real estate without putting it in your name. I already know it. I know you're going to do it. Okay, let's get to some Q&A here, y'all. That is our presentation for today. And make sure, get downloaded, use the coupon code TRUST so you can, Deborah, thank you so much for your support, Deborah. Use the coupon code TRUST so you can get the discount. I'm giving you $50 off and giving you the free prop stream month. And if for $47, you can get my subject to lease option, not only documents, but the whole training. So you're going to get a bunch of stuff. Okay. Samuel, we'll go back to get some Q&A here. Harlem, what's up? Nick, yeah, that was funny. My kids said the same thing. Let me get down here. Put your questions in the chat so we can get started answering some questions. Jason, you're welcome. You're a welcome Facebook user there. Anderson Consulting, who should we designate as a trustee? Well, let me tell you, I can't necessarily tell you who to use. That's why I love just being me. I'm glad you be you. I use a trusted third party. Guy doesn't have my same last name. So this is a dude I know, an associate, good friend of mine. In fact, I've got 3 trustees that I use for different ones. So you have to decide. Now you can make your trustee an entity. So you got, let me rewind that. Anderson Consultant, you can have beneficiaries, going to be ABC company, trustee, going to be XYZ company. So you can puppet both of them, but I don't do that. I just use a person. There you go, Essie. Use somebody you trust. Essie could be a family member. However, I don't want them to have the same name as you. David, I use my Wyoming LLC as a trustee. Okay, good. Yeah, good move. Hey, yo, going to my first foreclosure. Today is not about foreclosures. We'll do another one on that one. Andrew, so trust can help me. No, and one thing you can't have, this stuff does not protect you from the IRS. Okay, it ain't gonna protect you. I could get into so much stuff. David, nowadays you don't have to go closing. Part 2 property subject to and didn't even have to go anywhere. Good for you. That's right. So make sure you download the documents, use the coupon code. It's good for 1 day. Good for 1 day, y'all. Harold, how you doing? Nice picture there. When you buy a house with a trust, does it have to be a cash subject to transaction, or can you buy it using a DSCR loan lender? Okay, good question. So debt service coverage ratio. Is that what it is? I don't even use these loans, so I just do not know. I'm like, very rarely do I use them. DSCR loan. Is it debt service? Debt service coverage ratio. Okay. So it depends, Harold. So let me tell you what I've done and let me show you what I've done for other people. What I've personally done is borrow money from a lender, a traditional lender. However, in a trust, they require me to sign personally on the debt. Let me say that again. The lender has loaned me money in my trust name, okay? However, they require the beneficiary, oh darn, can't see that, sorry. However, the lender requires the beneficiary to sign personally on that debt, okay? So that's what I've done personally. Now, let me show you what I've done for other people. I have signed on behalf of them as a trustee, right? So the lender, be a hard money guy, will require the trustee to sign on the loan, not personally. They're signing in the capacity of the trustee, right? Which I've done that for other people. And that has been hard money. Now, that's a DSCR loan. I would presume, I don't know for sure, I'm not qualified because I've never used them. They're going to ask the beneficiary to sign personally on that debt. All right, so keep that in mind that's a good question. Keep that in mind when you're borrowing money. But Harold, let me give you a quick workaround. So I have had properties where in a trust, I had to deed them out of my name. I'm sorry, deed them out of the trust into my name, borrow the money, and then we'll just deed them back. So that's what you feel. I missed a lot. Oh yeah, this will be on the YouTube channel. The goodies and the bonuses will not be available. They're only available for a day. If you look at the sales page there, it's just stuff that will be available for one day. But this stuff is still, I'm giving you a ton of value. How do you black out the doc? Oh yeah, we got software for that, buddy. I don't want to. Generations of love. Is the trust and LLC and trustee and is the trust and LLC and trust and LLC too? Okay. How long will we have the discount for? Generations of love. The discount code will work for 1 day. Okay. If you click on it, you'll see the timer. Yes, your trust, or your question was, is the trust an LLC? No, the trust is a land trust. It's a Grantor Revocable Trust. But yes, to answer your question, the trustee can be an entity. Okay, that is yes, you can. Kevina, we went over that. If the trustee died, you do an appointment of successor trustee. Harold, I refied my house on a VA loan in a land trust. Look at that, Harold. Good for you, brother. I was so happy about that. So we got people that are deploying these strategies. They are deploying. That is so cool. Kavina, do you have to get the new trustee recorded? You don't have to. Now, your trust agreement, the 9-page document, that goes in your file cabinet. No one sees that. Nobody got to see that. But if you want to have a successor trustee, you can create a new deed and just do a deed of correction with the new trustee. Yes, you can put the new trustee. You don't have to. Bowen, yeah, hey, I'm gonna hit you. Yes, sir. I reached out to you, Bowen. I got something I need to run by you. Harold, can you show a closing disclosure of when you were buying a property? I did. I just showed one of those. Did you see that, Harold? Let me know if you saw that. I could have sworn I showed that. Kevin, is it possible to get the trustee or LLC to take over the mortgage? No, trustee is not going to do that. You have to do that, buddy. You have to do that. Generations. I'm having issues with local title companies closing subject twos. They're saying these types of deals are super risky. How can I close? You're going to have generations of love. You're going to have to find a title company that understands wealth management, wealth creation, and creative financing, period. Okay. I hope you're feeling this. I'm trying to give it to you as hard as I can. It took me 5 years to find somebody to do this. This was back in early 2005, but now there's more people doing it. If you don't know anybody, go to Bigger Pockets, do a search. Do a search. Agnes, download the trust agreement. The trust documents are going to be the number 2 in the show notes below. Click it, download it, use your code. Deborah, you are welcome. You are welcome. Anderson Consulting, thank you. Peter, instead of assigning wholesale into an end buyer, could one just place someone into a land trust contract and then give land trust to an end buyer before closing? Yes, you can. You can put the property into the trust, give it to the end buyer before closing. Absolutely. See, the problem with that, Peter, the problem with doing that is most investors are scared. Most investors have no idea how land trust works because think about it. How much money are we saving by putting it in a trust and then just selling the trust? You're saving thousands of dollars, right? I tried to do this with a ton. And one of my guys, I'm like, look, dude, I can save you $4,000. I already got it in a trust. I just sell you the trust, give me the money, and we done. Nah, I'm just gonna pay for closing costs, transfer tax, recording fees, attorney fees, and deed prep, all that. I don't know, Peter. It's hard for me to get people to do that. David, Title and Closing LLC out of Tulsa. Hey, will close remotely. Okay, cool. Got some remote people that'll do it for you. Kevin, it is possible to get an LLC or trust to take over a current mortgage? I'm not understanding the question yet. That's what we do. I just showed you that one deal we're doing right now. We're using a trust to take over the mortgage, buddy. Mikey, that's fire. I paid some and change for my sub two. Okay, good for you. You got a sub two here. Mikey, I'm happy for you. Andrew, if we hire you as a trustee, you get subpoenaed, go to court, and we're from out of state. Oh man, that'd be nasty. Would I have to fly to the courts? I would probably have to hire an attorney. I hope that never happens to me. I never even thought about that. You know what? I never even thought about that stuff. I pray that I don't have to deal with that. Probably get a local trustee. Yeah, you're right, Andrew. Kavina, when getting a new trustee, do you need to record the change? And how long does it take? No, let's say say today, I say I want to get rid of John as my trustee and hire Matt as my trustee. Boom, 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 it's over. I do the new deed, get the attorney, the title company or attorney to do the new deed. Tomorrow they go down to the courthouse, record it, it's over. Only costs $40. It's not a lot. Doesn't take long at all. Deborah, I have a property. Thank you for being one of our channel members, Deborah. In fact, channel members get questions answered first. I don't know why I didn't get you there first. I have a property in my name and want to put it into a trust. How do I do this? Well, Deborah, you create the trust agreement right here. Remember we went over that? This bad boy, the trust agreement. Give it to your title company or attorney. Let them draft up the deed. But before we do all that, let's make sure you got a trustee that you love and you know that you trust. Okay, let's make sure of that first. And then give the trust agreement to the title company. They will type up the deed for you and get it recorded. And it's over. Deborah, I'm here to tell you, remember I said a few moments ago, it's harder to do a house that you already own because you don't have to do it. It's hard. And it's easy when you're going to buy a new house, type the trust up, go to closing, boom, it's done. But once you already own it, it's like, oh, I really don't have to do this. So it's a lot of resistance. And you got to find a trustee. Took me some time. Get your questions in, y'all. Clearview buys house. I want to put my grandmother's house in the trust, but she owns it free and clear. Okay. How should I put the house in the trust? Same way that we just talked to Deborah. Go to number 2 in the video description. Download the land trust documents and all other goodies I'm giving you. Create your trust. Rewind the video. Give that trust declaration, the trust document to the title company or attorney. Let them create the deed for you, and it'll be over. They're gonna deed it. They're gonna say, hey, look, Clearview owns this property or whatever your grandmother's name. They're gonna say we're gonna deed it from your grandmother to the trust, and it's over. They're gonna record the deed and it's done. Having a loan is irrelevant because you can do that. You can do this whether you have a mortgage or not. Joy Bay. What's the difference between the land trust versus having land patent? That is, I'm not qualified to answer that. I don't know what a land patent is. Harold, the closing disclosure you showed you were the seller. No, I didn't. I show you the one I'm buying right now. I thought I showed y'all the one I was buying. Okay, I am here to serve. Let me pull that up for you. This is what we do. Colleen, that. I wanted y'all to see this. I'm buying this from Subject 2. I'm here to serve, brother. That's what I do. Harold, you ready, buddy? Why is this thing moving so slow? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I did show you one from the seller, too. So now I'm going to show you one from the buyer that I'm buying right now today. Harold, I got you, buddy. I got you. I ain't going to leave you hanging. I ain't going to leave you hanging, dog. Okay, Harold. Anybody else that wants to see what it looks like when we buy? Share screen. This is what I'm doing right now, today. Let me see. Can y'all please let me know if you can see my screen? Here's the HUD right here. Let me know if you can. Somebody give me a thumb. Harold, give me a thumbs up, or put one in the chat if you can see my screen. Just type of one so you can see. There's a HUD we're doing right now. Somebody give me one if you can see this. Make sure you can see this. Can y'all see it? Okay, cool. You can see it. All right, here's one we're buying. There's a HUD. Remember, I told y'all what I say. Buy it in a trust, name right there. I'm buying it subject to. This is why I'm giving you my subject to stuff. Here's a date. Oh, it does have a date. Right now, today. I told y'all I'm doing this right. This is what I do. Contract sales price, $168. And we're taking it over subject to 83,000. This is what it looks like, y'all. I got to bring 87,000 to closing. Harold, I hope that helped you. Harold, I hope that helped you, buddy. Oh, man, you can see it. Harold, did that help you there at all? So you can see the buyer is a trust. And I haven't even turned in the trust agreement. I got to turn that in. I'm so swamped. I didn't even know, like, we scheduled the closing for the day. Then I scheduled this. We got this. My team got me doing a class. I mean, I just got a ton of stuff going on. I'm honored and I'm thankful, though. I'm not stressed. I'm honored to have the opportunity to do this. All right. I don't want to put out of the universe that I can't handle this. Right. It's weird. We put things out. And then the universe and God starts taking things away from you. Oh, yeah, you can't handle it? Well, let me take that away. You can't handle that? Let me take that away. So I want us all to understand your energy and your frequency and your vibrations that you're putting out matters. It matters what you're thinking. And I want everybody to know, including myself, I'm thankful to have a closing today and be able to teach a class in the same day, okay? All right, Harold, I hope that helps you, buddy. Round up. If you have not yet, go to the video description below. We're going to keep going. I got some stuff. Go to the video description below. Download your land trust document packets along with all the other documents. You're going to see my deed, HUD, disclosure, seller, this closing disclosure. You understand this stuff top to bottom. I don't want you to have any fog in your mind, and don't beat yourself up. It took me 3 years to deploy this strategy. I don't know how long it will take you. Hopefully it will only take you 3 weeks or 3 months, but not 3 years like me. Who could be Ron LeGrand? Who could be smarter than me, right? It didn't. So I had to get out of my way, get trained up. We are our biggest. I have met the enemy. It is I, right? Marcus Aurelius. We are the enemies, yo. Download your documents. Use the coupon code TRUST. You're going to get $50 off and some other goodies. You're going to get 1 month prop stream for the first 10 people. So that's it. I'm giving you guys where my goal is to give you maximum value, little bit of money. Ton of value, little bit of money. That is my goal for you today. That's what I want to do for you. Okay, go to the video description. Number 2 is where the document download is. Let's finish some Q&A. Y'all done with the Q&A? Okay, cool. Got it there. Harold, you're good. Yes, sir. You're good. We got Harold straightened out, y'all. Harita. What's that in the background? Once the title creates the deed, once the contract buys the property, goes into the land trust, that's the deed. Title company. Who do we need to file the trust with? Harita, that is such a great question. We don't file the trust with anybody but our own file cabinet. No one needs to know all that stuff about the beneficiaries and the property address and all that stuff and who the beneficiaries are. No one knows. No one knows who this guy is. She is a ghost. Never forget when me and my wife were trying to qualify for this loan to build this house. Turned into stuff. They're like, dude, you got these houses, but we can't find them on your credit report. I'm like, there is no credit. What are you talking about? There is no credit report. I don't get loans on stuff, So that's why we use trust. They can't even see them it doesn't even come up on your credit score. And when you buy subject to, guess what? Doesn't come up on your credit report either. Andrew, what qualifying questions would you ask a title company to find out whether they're a good fit for closing creative deals? Andrew, I ask him, do you understand land trusts? Period. Do you understand subject to? So recently, y'all don't know this, but my title company guy retired. So I had to get a new guy. So I actually had to sit down and train him. It's no disrespect. I want to know how he does business. He wants to know how I do business. So today we did subject to deals. He's an attorney. He wants to know how I go. He goes, okay, cool. Looks at it. All right, I understand it. Good thing about attorneys is they are so focused on the paperwork. As long as the paperwork makes sense, they're good. So Andrew, what I would do is I would meet with them and let them see my paperwork, show them the trust, show them your subject to documents and all that stuff. So that way they can explain it to somebody else and hopefully close your deal. But yeah, I don't have a lot of questions. These people, man. Ooh, these title companies and attorneys. Oh, Robert Harvey, run out of money. You're a mess. You're welcome. You're welcome. Randy Ditto, we're welcome. You are welcome. Deborah, you're right. You got to watch what you're saying out here, man. These attorneys. Lanice, what can share about transfer of deed on death? I am not qualified to speak on that. All the stuff we're talking about here is for the living. Now, Lanice, that's a good question. On death, that's where you got to worry about who your beneficiary is. So you transfer it before death. All the stuff we're talking about here so far, I'm qualified to teach about in the land of the living. Okay? If you want to talk about stuff on the afterlife, you got to get it somebody else with the different qualifications. Okay? So all the stuff we're dealing with here is where you're still alive. Okay? Now, eventually, we'll have an entity that will take care of that because your land trust holds the title. Then your entity will say what happens to it after you pass. But we still want the title, who was that, Lanice, to stay in the trust when you die. So perhaps we could set up a successor beneficiary, but today's class is not about that. Okay, so that's going to be another training. Roundup, much love to you. Get trained up. Thank you. Share this stuff. Use the coupon code. Now this one only going to be good for a day. Get your own trust agreement, and you'll be able to get that huge discount for my subject to lease option full training module. Right, all that comes with it, and then I will pay for 1 month of PropStream for your big data for you, so you can go out there and do your research for yourself too. And if you have PropStream already, I'll still pay for 1 month for you. Okay. Any other Q&A, or we'll let you guys get out of here. Use that code. I want to say thank you. You're right. I got to watch what I say. I got to watch that. Share the stuff, like the content, and subscribe if you have not yet. If you're new to my channel, subscribe to the content, y'all. I can slice you up. Subscribe. It's been an honor. I got some unbelievable videos coming out for you over the next few weeks. I've got a friend that has a home health care staffing agency. That video will be out this weekend. It's amazing how, I'm telling y'all, man, this new home health care thing and retirees and baby boomers, if you're not at least thinking about that now, I highly recommend you to at least see that, because there's so much government money coming down. And every tenant from my history and me doing business, every tenant ends up eventually having a challenge. They either lose their job gets relocated. If they're not married, they break up in a relationship. If they are married, they get a divorce. So many things can go on with traditional tenants, which is why I do not do traditional tenants. I have 0 traditional tenants. Right? I just don't do it. It almost put me out of business. So for you, government subsidized tenants kept me in business. I want y'all to know that. Coupon code is trust. Kevin, I put it right there, brother. Use the coupon. It's right let's go to number 2. You can see it all written right there, buddy. It's right in the show notes below. Harold, have I ever had to get a line of credit on any of my properties? Yes, I have line of credit on this one here that I live in, and I've got one on another property, and I've got several lines of credit on a lot of my rental property with private individuals. Harold, I want you to get this. So we borrow money from private people. So I call up the lender or friend. I say, look, I've got a piece of real estate with no mortgage. Would you mind loaning me $100,000 and I'll give you a deed of trust against one of my rental properties? So I just borrow the money whenever I need it on rental properties with ordinary people, not necessarily with institutions. Okay. So that's why we need to learn private money. You got to, if you don't know private money, you don't plan on being in this business long. Andrew, you are welcome. Thank you. You are welcome. You're welcome. Yes, you can do that, Harold. You can change it back to the private lender, take it out of your name and put it, take it out of your name, out of the trust, put it in your name, borrow the money, put it back in the trust. Okay, Roundup, I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for letting me serve you. Let me get to these kids. And last thing I want to leave you with, leverage. You are going to have to understand leverage, whether that's going to be ideas, leveraging other people's ideas, leveraging media, technology, and most of all, leveraging capital. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to get into debt. Now, if you do get into debt, have a plan to get out of that debt as fast as possible if you're building long-term wealth. So for me, when I first got in the game, I thought I was just going to be in debt for the rest of my life. 2008 hit, shit crashed. I'm like, you know what? I got to get out of debt. Okay, so leverage. Learn how to leverage media, technology, people, and money. Okay, I'll see you on the next one, y'all. Peace. Go get the docs.